Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, patrons, and every single member of the True Heel Nation. This is your good brother, J News, with another rendition of J News Japan. And we're going to cover nights 17 and 18 of the G1 Climax 30 tournament. That is the A block final and the B block final. Let's get to it. October 16th was night 17, live from Ryogoku, Kokugan. 2,863 in attendance to watch the A block final. Let's start it off. The Young Lions started it off as usual, 6 minutes 52 seconds. Yoda Suji versus Gabriel Kidd. Shorter match than the usual here. Yoda Suji basically and Gabriel Kidd just starting off just not even starting off. The entire match was a fast paced match. They wanted to get right to it, see as to who was gonna outdo who in the quickest time. And the King of the Young Lions, as he's been called in the last couple of shows, Yoda Suji wins out here with the Boston Crab, as he did the same thing he did last time to Yuri Ramore. Put Gabriel Kidd in a big swing, crashes him down, flips him over into the Boston Crab, and gets the overall submission. I was watching this in English commentary, as English commentary was live. Is being recorded live for the block finals and the Climax 30 finals. They were basically praising Yoda Suji and saying that Yoda Suji should be next in line to go abroad and start to do his excursion to be the next young lion to take off the black trunks and the black boots. And I don't disagree with what Kevin Kelly and Chris and Rocky were saying, but I take it a step further. To be completely honest, these three young lions are probably the most complete wrestlers I've seen out of a young lion group that I've seen in a very long time. I think all three of these guys deserve to let go of the black trunks and the black boots, go on excursion as to wherever they want to go. This is me just fantasy booking for a certain level here. Yoda Suji, the top dog of the Young Lions, like I said before. Gabriel Kidd from the UK. I don't feel like Gabriel going to the UK as an excursion trip is a good idea. Let him go to Mexico. I think that would suit him better, even though the majority of most of the young lions from the most previous classes have been going to the UK. Maybe Yoda Suji can go to All Japan, take a detour to DDT. Maybe go to Australia to learn a different style. The not so common places to send guys to. If even that, maybe send Yoda Suji to New Japan USA to have him get a taste of Americana in a sense. Maybe he can do a tour in ROH or another American company that seems to be hinting at something we don't necessarily know. It might have been a one-off thing with AEW, but if, for example, I'm not saying Yoda Suji has to be on the main show on Dynamite, but if you can have Yoda Suji do some matches on AEW Dark, that wouldn't be a bad thing to start a talent exchange in that realm. And I would say the same thing for Gabriel. Maybe have him do some shots at New Japan Pro USA, a stint in ROH, because I know he and Marty know one another. Me speaking of Marty Skrull, that wouldn't be a bad place for Gabriel to go. Like I said, AEW before. Him going to the UK doesn't make any sense to me because he's done his stints in Rev Pro. I think Gabriel's had not that many, but like maybe a handful of matches in Progress before. I just getting him more out of his comfort zone and sending him elsewhere. I think, like I said, sending him to Mexico, be it CMLL, or AAA, or wherever you want to send him, is a good idea, just so he can get a different flavor of styles. Same thing with Yuri Ramore as well. All three of those gentlemen need to get out of these black trunks and these black boots, get sent on their excursions as travel bans get easier and get lifted around the world. And they should be, within the next calendar year, coming back with their own new characters and new attires. But that was just my point to make it here, even though there's another Young Lion match that happened in the Block B final. Straight to A Block action here. What can I say? I'm gonna try to remain unbiased throughout to the end of this. Just kind of call this down the middle as to what I saw, because a lot of what I figured or expected to happen, let's just call it that, what I expected to happen from a storyline standpoint and from a logistical standpoint didn't necessarily happen, so it kind of confused me. Jeff Cobb, Yujiro Takahashi, 1-on-1, 10 minutes, 30 seconds. Another good showing from Yujiro Takahashi here. Finally, the last, I would say, 2 matches, I mentioned it in the review as well, where Yujiro has been showing out but hasn't been able to pick up a win. It didn't make much sense to me for Yujiro to pick up the win here. I'm going to tell you guys in advance. Yujiro Takahashi got his first win and his only one of the tournament here against Jeff Cobb. The reason as to why I say it doesn't make any sense is because Jeff Cobb came off of a win from Will Osprey. And Will Osprey, as you'll know when I tell you later, had a tremendous G1 Climax 30 tournament. And it just made no sense for me to have Yujiro win against Jeff Cobb, but I guess New Japan doesn't feel like Jeff Cobb has a strong enough character yet. So I guess from a more from a popularity standpoint, it suited them best for Yujiro to take the win against Jeff Cobb here, and get his only win here. I think Yujiro getting his only win in the tournament should have been against somebody he had some sort of a feud with. I know him and Cobb went at it last year as well, but no, because Yujiro wasn't in the competitions last year. But they've gone at it before as well, and it didn't mean as much. So, maybe a win against Okada, a win against Suzuki, a win against somebody more meaningful for him to get his only win in the tournament from would have been more justice to Yujiro instead of Jeff Cobb, who doesn't have that spotlight on him as of yet. Even though he is one of a few foreign wrestlers in the company. Decent match, not a bad match at all. Good competition. Jeff Cobb still being Mr. Athletic, king of suplexes, power game on like Donkey Kong, because Jeff Cobb just shows off that strength, man. Blessed be that power game, as I like to say. Thanks Samoa Joe for that line. Yeah, I just enjoyed. I enjoyed the match. It was good. I just didn't necessarily expect the outcome to be what it was. I thought Yujiro was going to be in the same class as Hanma was a couple of years ago in the G1. So that didn't come to be. So it was what it was. Second match of the night, or the third match of the night, second A Block match, Shingo Takagi versus Mars Suzuki. This was a rematch from the Shingu Stadium Summer Struggle event on August 29th. This match lasted 12 minutes and 29 seconds. Yeah, I could have watched this all night, y'all. I really could have. These two dudes don't ever hold back, and that's what you want to see. That's how you want to see strong style personified, no holding back, just hard hitting, high impact things, maneuvers, holds, moves, whatever. Shingo wins this match to get the revenge on Minoru Suzuki. I don't necessarily know if this puts Shingo back in line for a shot at the Never Openweight Championship against Minoru Suzuki down the line, but it wasn't necessarily a demonstrative or dominating win by Shingo by any stretch. But It was a good back and forth between Minoru Suzuki and Takagi here, and Takagi gets the win. 4 wins, 5 losses, 8 points he ends up with. 3 wins, 6 losses, 6 points for Suzuki in the loss to re-up on the first A block match. 4 wins, 5 losses, 8 points for Jeff Cobb. 1 win, 8 losses, 2 points for Yujiro Takahashi. So we'll see what happens with Takagi and Minoru Suzuki come in the future. It seems like Suzuki has a couple of guys lined up for his never open weight championship for the next, today's the 17th, for the next month or so on the road shows. It could seem like Suzuki might have some contenders lined up for that, as Shingo Takagi won this match with Last of the Dragon. 4th match of the night, and what can I say? This particular match here was what I expected it to be, and Will Osprey versus Kazuchiko Okada was a great match. Sorry for the laughter, guys. My niece is knocking on my door. And it was everything you expected it to be. 17 minutes and 4 seconds, right? The match was well worked. You saw the intensity for Will Osprey right out of the chute. He came gunning for Okada. He was not playing around. He was not that cocky, overconfident SOB that he has been the entirety of this G1 Climax tournament. And him and Okada went at it. And I thought, man, is Will Osprey finally going to get the upper hand here and get the clean rub from Okada? I want to say that right off the bat. But to no avail, because he didn't get the clean rub from Okada. Something went down here that was unexpected. They threw a wrench in the plan, and what was a hell of a one-on-one contest ended up being probably another of the bigger surprises that has happened in New Japan Pro Wrestling in the year of 2020. Will Osprey wins this match with some chicanery, with some overbooking. If folks aren't aware, Will Ospreay's real life girlfriend, her name is Bea Priestley. Bea Priestley is also a professional wrestler. She is a British women's wrestler who currently is signed to Stardom, which is the Japanese women's wrestling promotion, which is top bill in Japan. She's been a champion over at Stardom I believe she is currently. If I read an article correctly last night, she just turned heel because she turned her back on the faction that she belonged to, and she's over there trying to just take over and be the top gaijin, as she likes to tag herself as. She came down to the ring to basically, inspire and help motivate her man. And I thought it was cool. I was like, oh shit, look, Bee's out here. She's there to motivate Will. This is cool. It'll be cool if, they become a power couple, let's say, and they start to mix and match, the ladies from Stardom and the gentleman from New Japan, and start to do some cross promotional work, because both companies, New Japan Pro Wrestling and Stardom, are owned by Bushiroad, which is the parent company of both for the wrestling promotions. So I thought it was cool to see her down there, but that was just a little bit of what happened, because if I'm not mistaken, folks, we got a returning young lion who came out and did some I don't even know what to say, man. He did some dastardly shit. He went in and he basically beat the crap out of Okada. Great O'Karn, as he is now called, came out with a heavily taped hand. Basically did he palmed the face of Okada and he chokeslammed him. Well, the referee was down, if I'm not mistaken, at this point in time. The Great Okarn then chokeslammed Okada down. After he chokeslammed Okada down, Will Osprey, looking very surprised at that particular given moment, goes to the corner, sets up for the hidden blade, hits Okada with the hidden blade. Then he hit Okada with the Stormbreaker to get the victory. The referee did not see any of that happen. And Will Osprey gets the win after all of this. And Will Osprey, after the bell rung, went back after the bell rung and attacked Okada and said, "Fuck you," and flipped him the bird a few times, basically disassociating himself from Chaos. If I read this correctly, Will Osprey has now broken away from Chaos and created his own faction. Their name it's called the Empire. So far, it is the Great Okarn, B. Priestley, and Will Osprey. Don't know if any other members will be coming into play. Obviously, there will be, but we just don't know who these members are going to be. The match lasted 17 minutes and 4 seconds. The records: 6 wins, 3 losses, 12 points for Will Osprey. 6 wins, 3 losses, 12 points for Kazuchiko Okada. Fifth match of the night, ladies and gentlemen. 17 minutes and 12 seconds. A grand total of 158 kicks landed in this match. Not one hand strike, not one punch was thrown, there were no moonsaults, there were no Black Mephistos, there was no thrust kicks. It was just hits of kicks to the quads, to the hamstrings, to the hips, to the butt. 158 kicks thrown total for 17 minutes and 12 seconds. Tai Chi versus Koda Abushi. I think I went overboard when it was the match of Minoru Suzuki and Yuji Nagata earlier in the year, where they were just basically using I think it was 3 or 4 maneuvers throughout the entire match. And majority of them were just elbow strikes and stuff like that. And these guys just used kicks. And you just felt the pain. And you felt the exhaustion after the 17 minutes and 12 seconds between Tai Chi and Koda Abushi. Another strong year of G1 action for Tai Chi. Abushi finally won this match with a Kamigoye. 7 wins, 2 losses, 14 points for Koda Abushi. 4 wins, 5 losses, 8 points for Tai Chi. As Ibushi walks away into the G1 Climax 30 final after this win. And then the main event of the night, Tomohiro Ishii versus Jay White. If this was so guys, girls, fellas, ladies, let me know in the comments if this match was any better than Ishii versus Okada, because I have not gone back to watch the match. I thought that this was the best match of the night. Tomohiro Ishii versus Jay White. I got heavily attached and heavily involved into this match from beginning to end. I liked every part of it. Tomohiro Ishii was able to subdue Goto at every corner, and it was one hell of a match. 24 minutes, 35 seconds. Tomohiro Ishii did some damage. Jay White did some damage to Tomohiro Ishii. But at the end of it all, Jay White loses here. 6 wins, 3 losses, 12 points. Tomohiro Ishii with the win. 4 wins, 5 losses, 8 points with a vertical drop. Brain buster. And that, folks, was night 17. A block action. Now we go to night 18. B block action. First match of the night, Gabriel Kidd versus Yuri Ramore. This match was another house on fire match. They came out swinging. Their typical young lion, one-on-one. battle here. I think the match lasted less than 8 minutes. No times as of yet here. They got it underway, and all I can say is that, like I said before, when I was talking about Yoda Suji versus Gabriel Kidd, and Yuri are also ready to take off those black trunks and those black boots and get into their own worlds. Gabriel Kidd ended up winning this match with a double underarm suplex, as they call it, and he gets the win as he basically, I think, for the unofficial C block, Yoda Suji is the points winner. Gabriel Kidd and Yuri ended up tied with the amount of points that they both had. Then we had the first B block match of the night. Zack Sabre Jr., Hiroshi Tanahashi. Zack Sabre Jr. actually kept the match clean. He did not go after Tanahashi's knees in this match. Tanahashi, on the other hand, had other plans. He actually went after Zack Sabre Jr.'s injured knee, and they went at it for a good, I would say, anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes. And you saw basically what we all saw during this G1 tournament, is that Hiroshi Tanahashi still has it. Hiroshi Tanahashi still belongs at the top of the card. He is not the gatekeeper as of yet. So it was cool to see. As Hiroshi Tanahashi beat Zack Sabre Jr. In this match, and Tana got the win. So the record that Tana walked into this particular match with, what am I looking at here? Okay, I'm starting with the Tanahashi and Zack Sabre Jr. match. I'll go back to the first match that was actually slated for before, so they changed around the order here. So Tana walked into the match with a 3-5 record. Zack Sabre Jr. walked into the match with a 5-3 record. After Tana's win, Tana ended up with four wins, 5 losses, 8 points. Zack Sabre Jr. walked away with 5 wins, 4 losses, and 10 points. And the actual first B block match of the night was Yoshihashi versus Toru Yano. This match was actually pretty entertaining because at one point Yoshihashi was able to tape on his pole to Toru Yano in the outside between the barricade and the pole itself. He was actually able to tape the pole onto Toru Yano's wrist, and at one point Toru Yano had to basically squirm his way through one of the openings in the guardrail to get to beat the 20 count into the ring, and eventually Yoshihashi was able to get the win against Toru Yano here. So Toru Yano started off the tournament with a 3-0 record, ends it with a 3-6 record, so loses 6 matches in a row. Yoshihashi picks up the win here, so he ends up with a 2-7 record. So two wins, 7 losses, 4 points for Yoshihashi, and 3 wins, 6 losses, and 6 points for Toru Yano. Then we go to Hiroki Goto versus Juice Robinson. Folks, I've been saying this for the longest. There's just no way around it. Juice Robinson's coming out party was this G1 Climax tournament. Another really good match for Juice Robinson here, showing out and showing off against Hiroki Goto. Very hard fought match, I would say. A lot of back and forth between the two, no real domination from either wrestler. But at the end of it all, I didn't expect this, but at the end of it all, Juice was able to hit Pulp Fiction and get the win here on Hiroki Goto. So Juice Robinson ends up with a 4-6 record after the win. So that means 4 wins, 6 losses, 8 points for Juice Robinson, and 4 wins and 5 losses. Is this right? No, it had to have been 3-5. So Juice ends up with a 4-5 record. same as Hiroki Goto. So both men walked away with 8 points at the end of the tournament. Then we start getting to where we needed to go. Man, all right. So here we have the double champ Tetsuya Naito, El Ingobernable, against one of the Japanese wrestling legends in Kenta. Tetsuya Naito comes into the match with a 6-2 record and 12 points. Kenta comes into the match with a 4-4 record and 8 points. This was a real good back and forth match. Another one of Kenta's top quality matches outside of him using that IWGP US Heavyweight Certificate briefcase on Naito, which didn't necessarily lead to a win or whatever the case is, but chicanery as usual. Well wrestled match by Tetsuya Naito and Kenta here. The match went a little bit over, I want to say, the 20-minute mark, and it led me to believe that Tetsuya Naito was going to get the win here because he came in with the confidence. But then he was overconfident because Kenta was able to beat Tetsuya Naito in this match. At the end of it all, was able to beat Tetsuya Naito with a quick roll-up after an attempt of, I believe it was Valencia, and he wasn't able to hit it, and he was able to roll up Naito and get the 1-2-3, which Red Shoes Uno did count, and Tetsuya Naito was, to use a term that isn't used much, but he was apoplectic, man. He couldn't believe it that he was defeated and Kenta got the 3 count and Kenta got the win. He was so frustrated. You can see it on his face. You can see it in his mannerisms after the match was over, after the bell rung. Tetsuya Naito wanted to be the one to handpick his opponent at the next Wrestle Kingdom show in 2021. But that, folks, that did not happen. That did not go down. Kenta got the win. It wasn't even a dirty win. It was just oversight by Naito. And, yeah, that was a tough one to take. And surprising on my end here. But when I saw this go down and I saw that Kenta won, my heart started to elevate. My heart rate started to speed up just a bit, because I knew that the main event of this night, I called it. I called it, and I was absolutely fucking right. I don't care what anyone has to say. This main event made up for the last 3 years worth of bullshit. Should I say 2.5 years worth of bullshit that Sonata's gone through. But once Naito lost, I was like, oh man, they're going to pull another swerve on me. Let me see how this match turns out. So, main event of the night, Sanada versus Evil, former tag team partners, members of Los Ingobernables de Japón, former IWGP heavyweight tag team champions, and former 2-time winners of the World Tag League, going one-on-one for the first time ever, not ever, but for the first time since Evil's defection to the Bullet Club. And this match was everything I thought it was going to be. It was a battle. It was a fight. It was a wrestling match. There was plenty of interference from Dick Togo trying to take out Sonata in 3 different occasions. At one point, it was pointed out 2 or 3 matches prior to this, Hiro Takahashi, one of the other members of Los Ingobernables de Japón, he was at ringside doing color commentary with the Japanese commentary team, and he stayed out there for the Sonata match. And after Dick Togo did his first run-in against Sonata, Hiromu had enough, and he jumped over the guardrail, and he tried to do his best to subdue Dick Togo, but they got the upper hand at that particular moment in time. Sonata was down, he was out. I'm thinking, crap, he was about to win. He was about to win this. Dick Togo was still taking into Sonata. The ref was out of the ring. He was hit. Red Shoes was nowhere to be found, and Sonata was playing possum because once they were able to get or revive Red Shoes and put him into the ring, Sonata was able to do a quick roll up on Evil. That was a quick 2 count on Evil. Evil surprised. Dick Togo gets back up to the apron. They send Sonata. Evil sends Sonata to the ropes. Dick Togo grabs Sonata. Evil then grabs Red Shoes to distract Red Shoes. Dick Togo takes that steel cable. I forget what they call it. The letter starts with the thing starts with a G. I forget what it is. Whatever. That cable that he used to choke people out. He was choking Sonata, and then Hiromu hits the thrust kick onto Dick Togo to get him off of the apron. Before this, when Evil and Dick Togo put Sonata and Hiromu down, they hit Sonata and Hiromu both with Magic Killers, which was the finisher that Sonata and Evil used to win their tag matches. So, that's representative of some symbolism there. But to take it back, Hiromu kicked off Dick Togo from the apron. Dick Togo was taken out. Sonata then did his best to take advantage, and Sonata was able to get the upper hand on Evil. It was a great final flurry and exchange of reversals and counters between Evil and Sonata. Sonata was finally able to get enough of the skull end, and then not really get the skull end on, and hit him with the TKO, and then hit him with the low angle moonsault to get the victory on Evil. And when Sonata got the victory on Evil, it meant something, because when Naito lost, it automatically meant that Naito was no longer in contention to be the winner of the B block. He was automatically out of the running because he had lost to both Sonata and Evil. So whoever the winner of Sonata and Evil was going to be the B block winner, and it was my main man Sonata. When Sonata won, I basically threw my pillow in the air. I yelled, I pumped my fist a couple of freaking times because finally my main man Sonata won. But it was a good thing, not because of my bias, right? But because they're doing exactly what I feel they should have been doing for quite a while now, and that's building other stars. They started with Evil earlier in the year when they defected him to the Bullet Club. They've shifted how they're positioning Hiromu Takahashi, in a sense. Is he gonna continue to be the great junior? Is he gonna eventually walk into that never open weight space? Is he gonna be a heavyweight at any point in time in his career? We don't necessarily know where Hiromu's gonna transition into. The ever rising star of Shingo Takagi, which is great. Like I've continuously said throughout the tournament, the showing of all the young lions where they're going to be paired. Now, the new and I will dare say improved heel version of Will Osprey. Folks, if you've never seen heel Will Osprey, you've missed out. His work with the Swords of Essex, his work against Jimmy Havoc, his work as a heel is top-notch shit. And Will Ospreay as a heel in New Japan Pro Wrestling is going to show a lot of fans just how good Will Ospreay is as not just an in-ring performer, but as an all-around professional wrestling character. And on top of everything else, Sanada. With this win here, Sanada, 12 points after 6 wins and 3 losses. He won 6 in a row. Evil ends up with 6 wins and 3 losses. But since Sanada beat Naito and Sanada beat Evil, he is the one who walks away with the G1 Climax 30 finals bid. He had a short promo after the bell had rung. It was a emotional match, to say the least, because of the history between Evil and Sonata, and it was dope to see. He did his thing, man. He dimmed the lights. He had the fireflies pop out with everybody, with the fans in attendance, lighting up their phones with their flashlights, and he cut a short promo thanking everybody and telling everybody, hey, I told you I would do it, and I did it, and now it's on for me in the finals. So it's going to be a basic one-on-one matchup between Sonata and Koda Abushi at the G1 Climax 30 finals. I predicted that there would be a new G1 Climax champion or winner of the tournament. I'm sticking with it. As you guys know, I'm a Sonata fanboy. I'm not getting off that boat. I love Abushi as well. That is just that's I'm a fan of multiple guys, but in this case, because of the story that was developed via the A Block final, where Abushi basically kicked his leg into oblivion, Abushi's walking into this match very hurt. Sonata not so much. There wasn't much concentration of evil on any specific body part of Sonata. It's just the wear and tear of the tournament on Sonata so far. So Sonata is walking into this particular finals match a little better and not as worse for wear than Abushi. So that's going to play a big part. But it's going to be a clean one-on-one. Hopefully there's no more double turns or people being put into other factions. I just want Sonata versus Abushi one-on-one. This should be a thriller, a great and exciting G1 final climax tournament match for everyone to enjoy. The rest of the card has not even been posted on the New Japan website as of yet, so we don't know what's going on, folks. They didn't even bother to post the results for... they just posted the results for October 17th. I was doing it off the whim. I was doing it off of memory because I wasn't looking at the website. I was just doing it based off of what I recalled from the matches. So the Yuri versus Gabriel Kid match went 8 minutes and 16 seconds. Like I said, Gabriel won with a double arm suplex. Toru Yano and Yoshihashi went 6 minutes and 10 seconds. Juice Robinson and Hiroki Goto went 12 minutes and 7 seconds. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Zack Sabre Jr. went 12 minutes and 1 second. Tetsuya Naito and Kenta went 21 minutes and 6 seconds. And the Sonata versus Evil match went 27 minutes and 1 second. My mistake. Sonata did not win with the moonsault. He won with the O'Connor Bridge. That was my mistake to call, but I just knew, I know that Sonata won. That's the important part. But I'm looking at the picture here where he won with the O'Connor roll, with the O'Connor Bridge, as is justified in this particular manner, and it was awesome to see. So that is that with the result breakdown for nights 17 and nights 18. Yet again, this happened at the Ryogoku Sumo Hall. 2,917 people in attendance today, October 17th. Tomorrow, we are going to get together as a collective, the True Heel Heat brothers, SP3. I expect my main man, John Paul JP, the Stat King, to be a part of this particular collective as well. We might see our good brother, the LIJ, the LIJ aficionado, Ness, be a part of this. I just don't know. I walk into these things blind. But we're going to have a round table review of the G1 Climax 30 final between Koda Abushi and Sonata. And like I said, man, I'm sticking with my pick. I'm sticking with Sonata here. New G1 Climax 30 champ, tournament champ. And he goes on to Wrestle Kingdom. That's my biased prediction. Kevin Kelly did make a point, though, during the English commentary, which I thought was very fitting. Either way you slice it, if Sonata and or Ibushi wins, there's going to be no bad blood. There's going to be no one's going to be left worse for wear, because we're going to get probably one of the best wrestling matches of 2020, and maybe all time. Who knows? But either way you go, if either man wins, it's going to be finally Ibushi rising to the top and finally being able to become IWGP Heavyweight Champion at Wrestle Kingdom, or the beginnings of the ascension of Sonata in the main event scene in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So pay attention to that, folks. Thank you for watching. As always, make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. This has been your good brother Jay News. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll also have the update for the NJPW Strong Never shows that started happening last night on Friday. I'll have that for you guys soon as well. I'm going to look forward to that roundtable for the G1 Climax 30 Finals review. As always, folks, take care of yourselves, be good to one another, and stay safe out there. Stay wrestling fans, y'all. I'm about this. I'll see y'all tomorrow.